Well, hello again, everyone. Professor Profit coming to you from Craps University. And today we have a brief Las Vegas trip report. I just got back a couple days ago and I wanted to get this down while I remembered most everything. We arrived last Saturday, the 10th of December. And once we got our bags, rent a car, we headed over to Ellis Island Casino for late lunch. And for those of you who have not been to Ellis Island, it's a small locals casino. It's on Koval between Harmon and Flamingo, kind of behind Bally's, block behind Bally's. And if you hadn't been there, go by. They've got a couple of $5 craps tables. They're really bouncy, so if you're a controlled shooter, it's probably not one you want to throw on. But nevertheless, $5 craps, it's a good way to get started. So while we were waiting for a table, I went over and bought in for a minimal amount, I think $300 or $400, and played there for about 20 minutes while I waited for the table, and ended up losing, I don't know, about 25, $30 there. Once we finished there, we headed out to Sam's, which is where we stayed the first night, just because pricing on the Strip on Saturday night is extremely expensive, and I'm just a little bit too frugal to pay $300 a night for a room. So we went out to Sam's. They had a $15 table working, and also had some bubble craps out there. So at Sam's, we were able to book just a small win there. And then the next day, we got up, went down and played some more, and then headed over to the Cosmo, which is where we checked in and stayed for the remainder of the week. So had a nice room there. I introduced my wife to bubble craps. She is not a big on playing the table games, but with the bubble craps, we have your individual terminals. She was good with that, so they had a $1, believe it or not, a $1 bubble craps machine at the Cosmo. So we sat her down there, taught her the 410 step-up system, where you bet actually started out at the $1 level, $1 on the 4, $1 on the 10, and stepped up on losses and back down on wins. And so she kind of got the hang of that and enjoyed it, along with a few margaritas. And I think I might have created a monster there. The rest of the week, she wanted to play bubble craps, and that was okay with me. We had a good time doing that. The room at the Cosmo was very nice. I've got a short video here of what it looked like off our balcony, looking up the Strip. So let's go take a look at that for a moment and kind of show you what it looked like from our room. Okay, guys, here's a view from the balcony of our room at the Cosmo. As you can see, pretty nice. You can see Planet Hollywood on the bottom left, the Aria, the Green Monster MGM Grand in the background, and Twin Towers over there. And as you can see, just a real nice view off the balcony at the Cosmo. So, recommend the Cosmo if you want to come to Vegas and stay in a nice place. So, like I said, we did the bubble craps at the Cosmo. That was a nice view, wasn't it? We enjoyed that view. It was a little cold to be out there very long, but the mornings were nice. The sun was hitting on the balcony there and warmed it up pretty nicely, so you could sit out there and have a cup of coffee and a little bit of breakfast if you wanted to. So, video poker was played a little bit, and actually had a good session at the Orleans during the week. My wife hit 4 deuces on the Deuces Wild machine, and I was able to book a nice win doing that while I played craps. So we headed down to South Point later in the week, drove down there. They have a $10 table there, and so I stepped up and I decided to play Crappie's Collect the Green strategy. And that's where you place a $30 bet on the 6 and 8, place bet on the 6 and 8. And if that hits, you collect the green chip, the $25 chip, and you take the other 10 and you place it on either the 5 or the 9 until you build those up to where you're collecting green chips. And then finally you branch on out to the 4 and the 10. So $600 buy-in for that because it's $60 bet with the $30 place bets on the 6 and the 8. And that's enough for 10 shooters, so that's what we did. First shooter hit one number, the 6, and so we collected the 25 on that. Then he 7'd out. Second shooter, 0.7 out, so that wiped us out of $60 there. And then the third shooter, who was just a random shooter, he had a nice toss. He did not set the dice. Shooting from one end of the table to the other is a 12-foot table. And he is hotter than a $2 pistol. And so by the time he finished his throws, we'd won over $400. And, we were satisfied with that win, so we cashed in our chips and headed on down the road. From there, we went over to the Silverton, which is just a short drive from the South Point. It's over on the freeway. They have a $15 table working there. It was full, so we didn't get to play. But Silverton's a nice little casino. Also, another little locals. If you haven't been by there, you might want to stick your head in. And it's a nice atmosphere. They got a big aquarium there if you like aquariums. And Chopper from I think it was Orange County, Chopper's built for them. And that's pretty interesting to look at also. From there, we headed over to Orleans. They also had a $15 table. We had a lunch there at the Copper Whisk. It's a nice little cafe they have there. And then I tried the cold table strategy, which is one of Crappie's strategies, just like the Collect the Green is one of Crappie's strategies also. And it was a cold table, a pretty choppy table, but we were able to escape with a small win there. Later in the week, we hit Planet Hollywood there on the Strip, and they had a game, Stadium Craps, which I hadn't seen before. The terminals were kind of set around in a semicircle, and you had probably a 6-7 foot table in the middle of all that, and you get up off your terminal and get up there and throw the dice from one end to the other. And they had a dealer there that would then plug in the results, and you won or lost. So I played that for a little bit just to see what it was like. Just used a very simple 6, 7, 8 system, and was able to book a small win there. Went over to the Flamingo. Walked over there. They had a $15 table going. It was full, and they had one of the $10 electronic tables there with the glass or plastic top, where you bet from your terminal and you throw the dice. Did not get involved there. That was a $10 table there. Also hit Harrah's this week. $25 table. They had 2 of them. Last time I was there, I had a lot of luck at Harrah's. There was a $10 table, and but this time all I could find was $25 tables. They were full. So I went over and played some bubble craps for a little bit, and boy, wasn't my day there for bubble craps. I lost $100 with a bubble craps machine, which is hard to do. From there, got up and kind of walked over to the $25 tables. Noticed they'd opened a third table, so I went over to watch that one, and it was a $15 table, so I was able to step up there. And once again, I played Crappie's Collect the Green system. However, this was more Collect the Red because it's a $15 table. So once again, I bought in for $600 and placed the 6 and 8 for $30 each. And when the number would hit, I would collect the red on this one and put the green chip on the 5 or the 9 and spread it out that way. First couple of shooters, once again, did not last long. But then we had 2 hot shooters in a row. And by the time that was over with, I had built up that $600 buy-in to over $1,100. So it was my turn to throw the dice, so I did stick around for my throw. Unfortunately, as was the case most of the week for me, I did not throw well. I had a few times where I had some good rolls, 10, 11, 12 rolls, but I never did get the monster roll, the 25 and above roll. And, that's where the fun begins at the craps table for me anyway, when you're rolling those numbers. And you're in the zone, just can't do any wrong. And unfortunately, I did not get in that zone during this trip. So, but anyway, a big win there. And then one of the ladies who was throwing so well and had a long roll, she had an ATS bet out, and she hit the small of $25 on the small. So she had a nice hit, I believe, for $750 if I remember correctly. as I said, not throwing well. My wife wanted to do a little Christmas shopping over at Fashion Square Mall, I think it's called. So while she did that, I walked over to Casino Quest and rented a table for an hour, which is $25, and got on the $12 table over there and practiced my throw. And while I was there, I also worked a little bit on a helicopter throw. And I don't know if you're familiar with that. Gentleman over at Cashier's Cage is where I first saw it. And it's a nice, he has a real nice throw. I was impressed with it and wanted to try it. Also, John over at Pro Craps, I think, is starting to use this throw now. I saw in one of his videos a while back. So basically, rather than the dice sitting flat on the table, you stack them one on top of the other, kind of like this, and rest your finger on here. And then when you release them, you kind of snap your fingers, if you will. And so when the dice come out, they're coming out like this. And then when they hit the table, they tend to spin a little bit, and that takes away a lot of the energy. So you don't have them flailing around and a lot of the chaos and a lot of the energy you'll see with the standard three-finger throw that you see quite often. So I worked on my normal throw for about half an hour and then worked on the helicopter throw for half an hour. And I really like the results of the helicopter throw. I have to figure out a set, but they landed softly. They all, I was using, I think, 5 pair of dice, and all of them would land within 12 to 15 inches of each other, all in the same area, all near the wall, really soft landing. So I think that's one that I'll be looking at in the future to see if that's what I want to incorporate in my game. I wasn't confident enough in it to use it while I was out there this week, but once I get on my practice rig here and throw it a little more, I may well do that. So from there, we went over to Treasure Island. They had a $15 table working there. My wife wanted to do the Bubble Craps machine, so I sat down with her, and we played some Bubble Craps, won a little bit there, and we had a lot of Bubble Craps this week. And like I said, my wife really enjoyed playing the Bubble Craps, and I enjoyed watching her play. So I think that's probably going to take the place of video poker for her on future trips. And she did have a couple of losing sessions, but mostly winning sessions, and had a couple of fairly good winning sessions considering the small wagers that are required at a Bubble Craps machine. So anyway, we stayed the week at the Cosmo, caught the plane back to Dallas Saturday. And once you get in the car at Love Field there in Dallas, it's about a 2-hour drive to our house. So we got home right around midnight Saturday night, Sunday morning, and had another great time. Had a winning trip, so we enjoyed it. And hopefully we'll be going back soon. Her birthday's in February, so maybe we'll book a trip back out there again. So hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please smash that like button. If you have not subscribed to our channel, we ask you to do that also. We love having you around, love having you watch the videos, and we'd love to have you be part of the student body here at Craps University. So once again, this is Professor Profit coming to you from Craps University. And if you're out there rolling those bones this week, we wish you nothing but the best of luck, and may all your rolls be winners. We'll see you again in our video this coming Sunday. And we'll talk to you then. Bye-bye.